Borderline personality disorder. How do we get that human contact that we need when we don't have friends and we don't like to socialize? Human beings in general are social creatures. We're supposed to be social. We crave it. So if you don't get that, how do we substitute it? Because we would go insane without some kind of social interaction. At least that's what psychologists say, that we have to have some of it. You look at punishments in prisons and institutions are to put you in solitary confinement where you can't socialize. So there has to be some reason why we just lose our shit if we're completely alone. I have a hard time being around people. I feel uncomfortable and anxiety and always feel like I'm just doing everything wrong. I avoid social situations. Even I, though, have to at times go out and find people to interact with. I've got the perfect situation where I'm living now because there's a lot of us that live here and we all smoke in the garage, so I can socialize and then be able to leave. It's short little social periods, which are great. They're perfect. I don't like going to parties or big social events. I feel trapped whenever I go to things like that. Even going to visit friends, and you always feel trapped. At least I do. How long should I stay? I'm always worried I'm staying too long or I don't stay long enough. And after a social situation, I spend the next 5 days analyzing it over and over in my brain, tripping out, thinking that I did everything wrong. It's generally more stress than it's worth. When I was younger, I was really into movies, obsessed with movies, especially horror movies. I didn't have very many friends. I didn't go hang out very much. But I could live vicariously through these movies. I loved the horror movies. I never found them scary. The reasoning is I was always usually sympathetic to the killer character. Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Chucky, Freddy Krueger, all of them. I was sympathetic more towards the killer. I could understand the killer's point of view, generally, more than the dumb teens that were getting slaughtered. Most of these killers, I think, were just misunderstood. Should I find that disturbing that I related with all of these killers more than I related with the teens or whatever? But growing up, yeah, I lived vicariously through these movies. Since I was younger, I think that's why I gravitated more towards the horror films and relating with the killers of horror films. Because the kids around me and stuff would torture me and bully me, and I was always an outcast, so I could really understand that outcast feeling. And I've gotten better at blending in with norms because I practice it a lot. I do. I honestly do. I practice body language constantly, just by myself, just practicing good body language. The eye contact one took me a long time to be able to master, but I think I've gotten good at the eye contact, knowing just the right amount of eye contact for the right situations. I've got the handshaking down. Thankfully, I met a person that actually taught me how to shake hands properly. They really drilled it into my head. I went to shake his hand and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "No, we're teaching you how to shake hands." And for like the next half hour, yeah, it was amazing. I can do it for short periods of time, but then the anxiety and everything starts getting to me. Usually about 20 minutes to a half hour is about as long as I can do it, and then I can start noticing a deterioration in my performance. The body language, I start slumping the shoulders more, not making as much eye contact, getting nervous, jittery. It's a pain in the ass. Now, would that be considered manipulation? They always say that people with BPD is manipulation, since I try to mimic and do the things that are supposed to be socially normal. Does that mean I'm manipulating them? I'm curious. You can let me know if you relate with the whole TV thing. I know for me, I have the TV going even when I'm sleeping. Oh, I have either the radio going or the television. I have some kind of background. Whether or not I'm actually paying attention to it, who knows? But I have to have that background noise going. I don't generally just sit in silence. Even at night, I have to have it going when I'm sleeping too. It's a comfort thing. I wake up in the middle of the night, the TV's still going, and I can go back to sleep. If I wake up and it's quiet, then my head just starts going and going and going. I think this might be a thing that norms do too, because I believe it comes from a need for comfort, and norms need to be comforted as well. You can talk about that in the comments section as well. Comments, we need lots of them. We also need you to subscribe, like, share it all the platforms, everywhere. Share it everywhere. I need to get these videos out to everybody, hundreds of people, hundreds, thousands of people, billions. Share, 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 hit the like button. Until next time, keep on keeping on. I'm going to sound like an old person, but I don't care. I don't give a damn. The world has changed so much from when I was a child to now. Incredibly. Growing up, I heard the old timers always talking about how all things are different than back in my day. Bullshit it was. I mean, yeah, there's from generation to generation, the world's changed, music's changed, but my generation, we don't have a legacy or anything, everything's been done, but we got to watch the birth of technology. When I was a child, there was no such thing as cell phones, internet, none of that technology stuff was around. I might still get to witness one of the biggest expansions of mankind when we go. We're about to have another singularity and leap like way beyond anything. We're this close to having another huge leap in the way we live and everything. It will change everything. It will be as big as the Industrial Revolution. They're actually saying it might be bigger than the Industrial Revolution. We're about to make that leap from, when cavemen discovered fucking fire. Alright? Fucking fire. We're about to discover fire.